hadith is from the collection of Imam Muslim, authentic collection, narrated to us by Abu Hurairah radiallahu anh, who said that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الله لا ينظر إلى صوركم وأموالكم ولكن ينظر إلى قلوبكم وأعمالكم. The Prophet ﷺ said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not look at your appearance and your wealth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looks at your heart, your internal state, and your actions. Inshallah, for the next few weeks, the series I picked is more focused towards the heart. Ramadan is not too long, not too far away, and usually the Sahaba prepare for Ramadan about 6 months in advance. We're already halfway through that preparation process, so we should be already in that journey. So, inshallah, if we haven't started, at least this gives us some kickstart, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Prophet is saying to us, does not look at our appearance and our status and our wealth. These are things that are superficial. These are what society values. When you ask somebody about success, what does the successful person look like to you? It's somebody who's got status, who's got wealth, and he's good looking. Right? Or they're dressed nicely. Okay? And what this hadith is teaching us is that's not what's of value to Allah. What is of value to Allah is your internal state and what it does in terms of leading you to specific actions or action in general. So the hadith saying to us, don't be superficial. Most people are superficial. Don't be superficial, because that's not what Allah cares about. We always say, the internal, the inside's more important than the outside. If you want to really understand how well you think this way, ask yourself, how much time do I spend in front of the mirror during the day? How much time do I spend thinking about what clothes I'm going to wear? How I'm going to look like? What clothes I'm going to buy? What ways I'm going to take to make more money, to advance in the company, to have a successful business? We're not saying those are bad things. You're allowed to do these things. You should be doing them. But relative to what really matters, which is what's inside here and what your actions, ask yourself, how much do I spend thinking about what actions I'm going to serve my community or bring khair to people? How much time do I spend reflecting on my internal state, my heart? What diseases I have? Do I have arrogance in my heart? Do I have an ounce of showing off? Did I do that action to show people, or did I do it for Allah? Do I have anger built up or resentment towards people? That person said something to me. Do I not like them? Do I have envy or jealousy because other people are? How much time do you spend asking yourself these questions compared to how much time you spend how you look like? That's the measure. If we reflect, that's the measure of how successful are we in looking and valuing certain things. If we value what Allah values, we would care about the intentions and the actions. And it's actually ironic because wealth and status and looks are given to us by Allah. We have no control over these things. You can say, I work hard to earn money. وَرِزْقُكُمْ فِي السَّمَاءِ وَمَا تُوعَدُونَ. What you're going to earn is promised by Allah. It's already predestined. We know people who work really hard and they're poor, and we know people who are lazy and they're filthy rich. You still have to take by the means to work and make a living. We're not saying don't, but we're saying to you that's not what you're given in terms of status and wealth and looks. That's a gift from Allah, but it's also a test. So if you have it, you have an additional responsibility to use it for His sake. But if you don't have it, that doesn't mean that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looks down upon you. So let's not confuse looks and wealth and status. These are tests. And we have additional responsibility if we have them. But what Allah cares about is the inside and your actions. And it's both. Because we can do an action, but our inside is rotten. We're doing it for material gain, for climbing up the ladder in our community, to be seen by people. This is why it's قُلُوبِكُمْ وَأَعْمَالِكُمْ. It's both your heart, your internal state, and what drives you to do action. And the last point I'll mention, inshallah, before I close, is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows you beyond what people see. What people see are your accomplishments and what you are able to attain. And if you are visible in front of people, whether at work, in the community, that's what people see, and that's what they judge you on. But Allah knows you and I better than that. He actually knows us. He knows the real you. He knows your internal struggles. He knows the pain that you feel in your heart. He knows your sincerity. He knows everything about you that people don't see. And so that should bring us comfort. That should bring us peace. If we are struggling to fix ourselves internally, that I don't want to do certain things because I want to be in the public eye, I want to be sincere, I want to fight this feeling of jealousy I get in my heart when I see this person, the battles you have in your heart, Allah sees them. Nobody else does. That's beautiful. Allah knows each and one of us what we're going through. That should bring us actually comfort. And so let's show Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we are working actively on our hearts, because all of us have some deficiencies in our hearts. No one's perfect. If we have patience, we can be more patient, right? If we have khushu', you can attain better khushu'. If you have love for someone, I'm sure you can get closer to that person. There's always, it's a spectrum. It's never I have it or I don't. So let's show Allah that we're working to be more sincere, to eliminate these diseases of the heart, that perhaps Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He sees our hearts, this is His forgiveness. He forgives us because we're actively working on our hearts. So I hope that was a benefit. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to be sincere, allow us to be people who cleanse their hearts and who focus on their actions, not their status and their wealth and their appearance, even though those are things that they are important. You should be, you should be well groomed. You should try to dress nicely. You should, try to earn a living and support the community. We're not saying don't, but don't prioritize that over what really matters. يروي الإمام مسلم في صحيحه عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الله لا ينظر إلى صوركم وأموالكم ولكن ينظر